Happy Monday. Hope you're ready for Mondays with Margo. I'm your heartfelt CFO from Margo's Bookkeeping. I am excited to be here with you today and share a topic that is very near and dear to my heart, which is how to overcome the fear of judgment. Now, I speak to entrepreneurs every day, and the big thing that is in this space is like, all of us entrepreneurs want to make moves and they want to make steps, and then it's kind of like, should I or shouldn't I? And there's so many things that come in the way of actually making a decision. And the biggest one is fear. And along with fear, there's a lot of judgment that we worry about when it comes to that. What are people going to think? How are people going to receive it? Is it going to work? And these are like all the necessary things when it comes to making a decision. And I know when clients come to me for services, a lot of the things that come into play when they're looking for services is the fear of results. And am I going to be able to produce? But what happens is like, it's the fear of the results. So there's 3 parts that I want to talk about how to overcome the fear of judgment. The first part is nothing lasts forever. So the reality is that a human's brain has limited amount of space. And although everybody's making judgments and we think it's like consuming us and it's the most important thing, it's really not earning the place to really stay in our memory bank. And when someone makes a judgment about you, chances are moments later, just moments later, that judgment will have left their conscious mind. And it's just going to be like yesterday's news. So when you're sitting with a decision and you're worried about that part, sit with that a little bit and see how that feels, when it comes to should you or shouldn't you make this decision. Now, if you're live or if you're watching the replay, I would love for you to say hello. And is there something that you're fearing now? Ask me anything. I would love for you to say, what's going on, if there's something that I can help with. But this topic has come in my space a lot because the path how I've grown MBS is not the traditional form. And I have a lot of people asking me about how I've grown MBS and certain things. And, it took time for a lot of that to evolve. And, they see it now in my involvement and my branding of everything. And, over time, when you're consistent with what is very true to you and your vision of your company, it really works itself. It really plays itself out. So the first thing is nothing lasts forever. The second part is judgment is unavoidable. Now, this is a popular statement such because no matter where you go and no matter who you are, if you're a business owner, if you're a mother, you're a daughter, you're a sister, you're a brother, you're a father, you're an uncle, everywhere you go, it's a judgment. Just where I was on Friday, I was in the middle of an interview, and somebody was asking me about a whole bunch of expenses and stuff that happened for my company, and they mentioned the name of somebody's company who I use, and they said to me, that doesn't sound so business-like. And I was like, so how is that my problem? That's their decision, however they decide to run the company and make the name. So we all have our beliefs on what we think it should be, and that's what we run off of. Somebody tells us one thing, and then that's what we supercharge forward, and we base everything off of. So judgments are unavoidable. And on that note, number 2, I want to leave with that thought of no judgments are allowed, that this is a no judgment zone. That we don't let that into our space and into our mind and into our thoughts. The third one is, this is my favorite, and it took me a long time to really to get this, is let them judge. If you have something that you want to do and fear is overcoming you, it can be liberating to just allow the judgments to happen. And think of an ocean. Think of all the waves that happen throughout the time when you're sitting on the beach. We're all just finishing up our summer, and we're all feeling like as if, you know, it's like the last beach day. If you see I'm burnt again, you know, on Saturday I was by the beach. And if you think about it, and if you follow me on my lives, you know, there's the mind and the heart, and there's a very big distinction there. And when you are in your mind, think about all the waves that keep happening. And instead of jumping into the water and jumping into those thoughts, look at yourself as an observer instead of feeling like you have to fix something or change something. And once you see how many thoughts are going to pass you by, and then you go dip into your heart, it's a whole different mind game of where you want to be. Now, instead of stopping yourself, open up and be vulnerable. But the important thing is to be yourself. And when that is happening, ask yourself this one question is, what judgments do I fear will come when I'm opening up to? And work through that. What judgments do I fear will come from opening up from this action that I want to do, that fear is stopping me. If you sit with that, you can meditate on that, you can journal about that, you can talk to your coach, you can talk to me, and you can see, you know, what comes of that. And give yourself, I like to give these things like a time cap, and like a 15-minute time cap. You know, set the clock and just see what comes, and just keep writing in your journal. And if you don't journal, just open up a piece of paper and journal. And think about what judgments are coming from the action that I want to be. Like, what exactly are you afraid of? And sometimes when you work through it on your own, you realize what you're afraid of is really just an image of something that's not real. And it's just some made-up story of a belief or something. So, how to overcome fear of judgment, there's 3 parts. We have nothing lasts forever, judgment is unavoidable, and just let them judge. And ask yourself, when you see that the judgment, when you're up to number 2 of judgment being unavoidable, is this isn't your judgment zone. Nobody is gonna go into your zone and judge you and let that happen, because you're gonna move forward 1 foot in front of the other. Especially today is Monday. You have the whole awesome week ahead of you, and you have the whole, you have the end of the month as well if you're not meeting your goals, of your sales goals or anything else that you might be looking to do. And the third part is let them judge. And while you're letting them judge, internally sit with the thought of, what judgment am I fearing that I'm opening up to? And see what comes up. I'm Margo Mastery, Heartfelt CFO. I hope you enjoyed Mondays with Margo, and share this with anybody who you might think enjoys it. And I would love for you to share comments, and I look forward to your feedback. Speak soon. Have a wonderful day. Bye.